The Atlanta precinct parking lot was still, the morning air heavy with the scent of asphalt and a distant siren's wail. "You're in the wrong place," an officer barked, his shadow looming over a black woman standing alone, her posture unshaken, her eyes like steel. Two more joined him, their voices dripping with mockery, their laughter cutting through the dawn. "Go back where you belong," one sneered, unaware they were taunting their new commander. She didn't snap back, just held an envelope and said, "You'll see soon enough." 30 minutes later, she stepped into the precinct's conference room, her commander's badge gleaming, silencing every smirk. What happens when the woman they tried to break holds the power to remake them? Hit that like button, share this story, and let's dive into a tale where silence drowns out prejudice and truth reshapes a broken system. The lot outside the 12th precinct smelled of damp pavement and stale coffee, left too long in a thermos. It was 6:45 a.m. on a crisp October morning in 2025, the Atlanta skyline barely waking under a hazy sun. Tara Wilson, 38, stepped from her car, her tailored blazer and slacks plain but sharp, her braids pulled back tightly. No uniform yet, just a sealed envelope under her arm and a phone in her hand, checking the time. She was early for her first day as precinct commander, waiting for a file handoff from records. The staff entrance gleamed a few steps away, its glass catching the dawn. Tara stood still, her breath even, her eyes scanning the lot with the calm of someone who'd faced worse. Tara was there to lead the 12th precinct, a role carved from 20 years in military intelligence and criminal investigations. But before she could reach the door, 3 officers approached, their boots heavy on the concrete. They didn't know her name or rank, just saw a black woman where they thought she shouldn't be. Officer Eric Brown, broad-shouldered with a clipped beard, led the charge, his voice cutting. "Restricted area," he said, hand near his holster, eyes narrowing at her braids, her shoes. "State your business." Tara's voice was steady, low. "Waiting for a file transfer. Official business." Brown's gaze lingered, dismissive, like she was a problem to be solved. Years ago, Tara stood in a similar lot, a rookie, her older sister, Lena Wilson, beside her. Lena, a detective with 12 years on the force, pulled her close after a brutal shift. "They'll try to shrink you, Tara," Lena said, her badge glinting under a streetlight, her voice fierce but warm. "But your worth isn't in their eyes, it's in your spine." Lena taught her to read people like case files, to wield laws like shields, to let silence speak when others shouted. Lena's death 5 years ago, a hit and run during an investigation, left Tara with her sister's badge and a promise: never let prejudice win. That promise burned now, steady in her chest as she faced Brown's glare. Lena's own battles had shaped Tara's resolve. A decade ago, Lena stood in a precinct locker room, her voice steady as she reported a senior officer's racial slurs. The room went quiet, but the next day, her desk was moved to a basement, her cases reassigned. "They buried the truth to protect their own," Lena told Tara later, her eyes tired but unbowed. "But truth always finds a way out." That lesson stuck, etched into Tara's memory as she watched Lena fight, lose, and still stand tall. Now, facing Brown's glare, Tara felt Lena's strength, her silence a weapon sharper than any shout. The confrontation flared fast. Officer Lynn Collins, wiry with a tight ponytail, stepped up, her smirk sharp as a blade. "Official business? No badge, no uniform? What, you here to clean the place?" Her laugh was mean, glancing at Brown for approval. Tara pulled out her ID, holding it steady, not shoving. "This is my badge," she said, her tone even. Brown barely looked. "That's a card, sweetheart," he said, stepping closer, his voice low, threatening. "This ain't your place. Move, or we'll move you." The third officer, Nate Davis, younger, hesitated, his coffee cup trembling in his hand. He opened his mouth, then shut it, silenced by Brown's sharp glance. Across the lot, a small crowd gathered, 2 passers-by, an older woman with a grocery bag and a teen on a bike, their phones raised, filming discreetly through the fence. The woman whispered to the teen, "This ain't right," her voice low but firm. The teen nodded, his camera steady, capturing Brown's jabbing finger. Collins' laugh, Tara's calm defiance. Their footage would hit X within hours, a spark ready to ignite. Tara didn't look at them, but she felt their eyes, their phones, their quiet support, like Lena's voice whispering, Truth always finds a way. The night before, Tara sat in her apartment, her laptop casting a blue glow across walls lined with Lena's old case files. She'd spent weeks digging through precinct records. 6 complaints against Brown, 3 against Collins, all buried. She burned a file onto a USB, its weight heavy in her pocket now. Her aunt Carla had called, her voice tight with worry. "That place is a snake pit, Tara." Tara's reply was firm. "Lena taught me how to handle snakes." Carla sighed, then whispered, "Make her proud." Tara didn't sleep, but her hands were steady as she slipped the USB into her blazer, ready for the fight she knew was coming. Whispers about the new commander had swirled through the 12th precinct for days. In the break room, officers traded rumors over burnt coffee. "Diversity hire," one muttered, smirking. "Bet she's all talk." Outside, the community buzzed louder. On X, posts tagged "Number 12th Precinct" gained traction. Locals sharing stories of Brown's heavy-handed stops, Collins's sharp tongue. A barber, Jamal, posted, "They profiled my nephew last spring. Same cops, same attitude." A protest formed outside City Hall, signs reading, "No more silence." Tara read it all, her phone glowing in the dark, knowing the storm was already here. Back in the lot, Brown's voice rose, cutting the morning air. "Last chance. Walk or you're in cuffs." Tara tucked her ID away, her gaze unflinching. "I'll go inside now," she said, turning toward the door. Brown barked, "Don't walk away from me." But she kept moving, her steps deliberate, her silence louder than his shouts. Collins laughed, low and mean, whispering to Brown, "She's got some nerve." Nate stared, his coffee cold, his eyes flickering with doubt. Tara reached the door, pulled it open, and stepped inside, the click echoing like a verdict in the quiet lot. Inside the precinct, officers gathered in the break room, their voices low but sharp. Brown leaned against a locker, his face red. "Who does she think she is, strolling in like that?" he hissed to Collins, who nodded, her smirk fading. "Probably some admin playing tough." Nate stood by the vending machine, his coffee untouched, his jaw tight. He'd heard the rumors about Tara, seen the complaints in old files. "Maybe she's legit," he muttered, but Brown shot him a look that silenced him. Another officer, Jose Ramirez, shook his head. "This place doesn't change," he said quietly, walking out. Nate's hand brushed the recorder in his pocket, his fingers twitching. At 8 a.m., the conference room doors swung open, and silence swept through like a cold front. 30 officers froze, their chatter dying, their chairs creaking. Tara Wilson stepped in, now in her commander's uniform, brass pins gleaming under fluorescent lights. She held a small remote, her face unreadable, her presence heavy. Brown sat near the center, arms crossed, jaw tight. Collins leaned back, fingers tapping her thigh. Nate kept to the back, hands locked under the table, his coffee abandoned. Tara didn't ask for quiet. She didn't need to. "Let's begin," she said, her voice calm but sharp, like a blade sheathed in silk. "I'm Commander Wilson. As of today, I lead this precinct." The room stiffened, throats tightening. "This isn't about new schedules or desks. It's about what your badge means." She clicked the remote. A screen lit up with a photo of a young black woman in uniform, eyes steady, badge reading, Detective Lena Wilson. "This was my sister," Tara said. "She served 12 years, protected rookies, called out misconduct. Then she was silenced, reassigned, investigated, erased." The room went still, the air thick with unease. Tara's voice didn't waver. She made one mistake, telling the truth. She clicked again, showing text. "Conduct is who you are when no one's watching. Some of you think your badge is a shield. It's not. It's a mirror." Brown's jaw twitched. Collins's tapping stopped. Nate's eyes dropped. "If someone watched your last 10 minutes outside," Tara said, "what would they see?" No one answered. She let the silence settle, then added, "Someone was watching, and I don't mean me." The room froze, eyes darting, pulses racing. After the meeting, Nate lingered in the hallway, his recorder heavy in his pocket. He thought of his father, a retired cop who'd quit after refusing to cover for a partner's misconduct. "Choose your conscience over your badge," his father had said, his voice rough with regret. Nate had joined the force to honor him, but today, watching Tara stand unshaken, he felt his father's words again. He wanted to speak, to act, but fear of Brown, of the precinct's culture, held him back. Yet Tara's silence, her strength, gnawed at him, a call to be more than a bystander. Tara kept her tone even. I'm not here to shame you. Shame finds those who earn it. I'm here for accountability. She clicked the remote off. You have a choice. Step up or step out. Those who hide misconduct won't be hidden by me. Officer Clara Lewis, a veteran at the back, nodded slightly, her eyes like flint. Brown scoffed under his breath, but Collins's face paled, her smirk gone. Nate's hands unclenched, his breath shallow, like he was waking from a long sleep. In her office, Tara sat alone, the hum of fluorescent lights soft overhead. On her screen, the passerby's video played silently. Brown's finger jabbing, Collins's laugh, Nate's hesitation. She saved it to a USB labeled South Lot 6:47 a.m. Her mind flashed to Lena's last case, her sister's voice. Truth doesn't need your voice, Tara. It needs your spine. A knock broke her thoughts. Come in, she said. Nate Davis stepped in, his uniform crisp, his eyes heavy. Commander Wilson, he said, voice cracking. I need to talk. Nate sat, hands twisting. I should have stopped them, he said. I knew it was wrong, but I froze. Tara leaned back, her voice calm but unyielding. You didn't mock me. You didn't threaten. But you didn't act either. That's your failure. Nate nodded, guilt raw in his eyes. I didn't know how to speak up. Tara's gaze held his. Learn. Silence in those moments screams louder than your badge. He swallowed, then whispered, Will this go on my record? Tara's reply was firm. That depends on who you become tomorrow. Clara Lewis entered next, holding a file. Her eyes flicked to the screen, catching Brown's frozen scowl. Misconduct report? She asked. Tara closed the video, slipping the USB into a safe. Not yet, she said. People show themselves when they think the storm's passed. Clara raised an eyebrow. Giving them rope? Tara's lips twitched, not quite a smile. Giving them a choice. Clara nodded, seeing the strategy. Patience, not hesitation, power wrapped in restraint. By noon, the precinct buzzed with tension. In the break room, Brown slammed his locker, his voice low but sharp. They drop her in for optics, and we're supposed to salute? Collins sat silent, her coffee cold, her phone buzzing with notifications. Her face was on X now, her laugh looping in viral clips, knocked on her 12th precinct, trending with comments like, this is their culture. Jose Ramirez looked away, uneasy. Nate stood nearby, his hand in his pocket, fingers on a recorder he'd started carrying after Lena's case. Brown kept going. She's not one of us, never will be. Nate's thumb pressed record, his breath steady. Outside, the city roared. The video from the lot hit 500,000 views by noon, Charkudud in 12th Precinct trending globally. A local activist, Aisha Green, posted, This is the 12th Precinct's truth, same old prejudice. Protesters swelled outside City Hall, their signs bold. Justice for Lena's legacy. The city council sent another email, urging containment. Clara knocked on Tara's door, her voice low. Social media's exploding. Council's nervous, talking protests. Tara leaned back, eyes dark. They want to cover it up, not fix it. Clara sighed. No complaints yet? Tara's voice was steel. Truth leaks through cracks. I just let them widen. That evening, Nate sat in his apartment, the recorder playing Brown's words, bitter, raw, unfiltered. He typed an email to the State Inspector General, attaching the audio. I stayed silent too long, he wrote. Not anymore. He hit send, the click a crack in a rotting wall. Back at the precinct, Collins stood alone in the locker room, her phone glowing with messages, family, friends, strangers, all asking, was that you laughing? Her hands shook as she drafted a letter, her pen hesitating over each word. I laughed to fit in, she wrote, but I was wrong. I want to make it right. Her guilt was heavier than her badge, a weight she couldn't shake. The next morning, the precinct felt different, tense, but alive. In the conference room, Clara sat beside her, State Inspector Mia Chen reviewing files. Brown faltering. Tara nodded to Mia, who pressed play on a recorder. Brown's voice filled the room. She's not one of us. His mouth opening and closing. Tara leaned forward, her voice like steel. Belong. Tell Merrick, who decides? Brown scoffed. Oh, to hire, nothing more. Clara cut in. An intelligence, citations for earned? Mia opened a folder. 4 complaints against you, Eric. Ignored. Until now. Shaking. This is a setup. Tara's eyes held. No. It's your truth standing sage. Mia extended her hand. Your badge, Officer Brown. He ripped it off, slammed it down, and stormed out. The doors echo sharp. Clara looked. That's the start. Tara nodded, her voice low. Not the end. Later, called Tara's office, holding her written letter, her eye tired. I was wrong, she said, handing it over, breaking. Because I thought it kept me safe. Tara took it, her tone even. Words don't fix this. Actions do. Collins nodded, shifting, like a door cracking open after years. By afternoon, for a formal meeting. Tara called Nate forward. For courage when it cost something, she said, pinning an emblem on his chest. The applause was quiet but real. Jose Ramirez approached after, his voice steady. I stayed quiet too long. I want to help. Tara offered her hand. We start here. Outside, protests grew. Truth wins. A new plaque gleamed on the precinct wall. Command begins with character. Tara paused by it, Lena's badge in her pocket, her sister's voice in her mind. You didn't. Monty felt the shift. Training Pura and Clara rolled out, met with resistance. Hope. Ex-post slowed, but numbered in 12th precinct trended with comments like, finally, someone's listening. Aisha Green spoke at a community meeting. Tara Wilson didn't just walk in, she opened the door for us. Local news ran segments, one anchor calling Tara the quiet storm. Ateen Malik sent a letter. I saw you on TV. You stood like my mom does, quiet but strong. Tara replied, Malik, don't be like me. Be better. But never forget how I stood. The precinct wasn't fixed, but it was moving, cracks widening, truth leaking through. This isn't just about a commander or a precinct. It's about silence turned to strength, truth outlasting lies. Have you seen someone stand quiet and change everything? Drop it in the comments, share the story if it moved you, and let's keep this conversation alive. Subscribe for more tales of courage, truth, and voices that shift the world. See you in the next one.